Chapter 13. I rushed up the driveway, disregarding my own safety, disregarding what could possibly happen to me. Mandy needed me, and I was going to rush to her. She came out the front door, unharmed, but looking distraught, on the verge of panicking, but keeping a cool composure. "Are you all right?" I asked. Yeah, I'm fine. I just need you to see this." She took me inside, and it was a bloodbath. Bodies piled up in the hallway, smoke clouding the house, bodies at the bottom of the stairs. It was a horror show. "Ugh. Why do you want me to see this?" I asked. "Not this," she said. "Down in the basement." I had to skip over numerous bodies to get to the kitchen, which led to the basement. We went down the dark stairway, and I had to hop over yet another body to finally get down into the basement. I heard some whimpering, and once I was able to get a better look, I saw at least a dozen girls locked up in cages. "None of them speak English," she said. "They're keeping slaves down here, mostly from South America, if I could guess." Oh my God. I hurried and opened each cage. Most of the girls seemed to be teenaged. "What the hell are we going to do? We have to go to the cops." "What are they going to do?" "No, we need to load them all into one of those big SUVs. We'll take them to the ranch. There's lots of beds and lots of food." Gosh, I wonder how many more girls are hiding around the city. Damn. I'm so mad I let a few get away. What about you, Jace? Are you mad yet? Is human trafficking enough to tell you who we're dealing with and why they need to die? It is, actually. But I was too concerned with what to do next to be angry. These girls were in trouble and needed help. Mandy's plan wasn't too bad, but I wanted to make sure these girls felt safe with us. "None of them speak English, you said?" "Keep them here for a minute," said Mandy. "I'll go look for keys." The girls weren't in any hurry to leave their cages. I gave a gentle gesture to tell them to follow us. I tried speaking slowly with hand movements to let them know what was going on. "We are going to take you out of here." I felt like an idiot. None of them had any clue what I was saying. One of them tried to speak to me. It sounded like a Slavic language to me. I had to shrug and smile. I put my hand out to her, like she was a lost puppy that I was trying to get to trust me. It took a minute, but she eventually reached out and touched my fingertips. I nodded to her, and she nodded back. I don't know what I was trying to do. They were human beings, not mountain lions, so I don't know why I was so careful to not make any sudden movements. Probably because I didn't want to spook any of them. Mandy shouted from upstairs. "Got some keys?" The girls eventually followed, and Mandy graciously took us the long way out of the mansion to avoid as many of the bodies as possible. We still had to walk past 5. In all, there were 15 girls, plus the 2 of us. So we had to cram 17 people into this SUV. One had to sit on Mandy's lap. There was some adjusting she had to do with her guns to make it a comfortable ride for the girl. It wasn't going to be a comfortable ride for any of them, truthfully. When we drove past Mandy's car, she shouted, "What the hell? What happened to my windshield?" Oh. Another SUV drove by and they shot at me as they sped away. "They tried shooting you again?" She sat seething, holding onto the girl on her lap. I couldn't talk to any of the girls. It was just Mandy, so I figured I'd ask. So things went according to plan, I guess? What happened in the mansion? "I shot the first 3 right through the window, on that side facing the cliff. They were just standing there, so bang, bang, bang! 3 headshots. I knew the gunshots would draw attention, so I threw the Molotov in through the next window. Separate their focus, you know. So I rushed around the back, shot another guy twice in the chest. Probably only needed one. Someone came out the back door as soon as I got to it. Boom! One quick headshot. The fire was making a ton of smoke, so they were actually running away from it. I had 4 more shots in my mag, so I sent them all down the hallway, ducked back for a quick mag change, then just blasted. All according to plan. I tried to not walk past too many doors. One guy came with a fire extinguisher. I shot him, then shot the fire extinguisher. It didn't explode as much as I thought it would, but it did manage to keep the fire at bay. So I think that was about 10 people at that point. I did another mag change, turned, and there was a guy with a gun. The difference between who lives and who dies in a firefight? Whoever's willing to pull the trigger. He thought he was going to get me to halt. I swung my rifle around. Boom! He was down. Oh, want this? She pulled a pistol from her hoodie pocket. I'm not really into revolvers. I think that's a 44 mag, too. Some real firepower there. Anyway, where was I? I took the revolver and put it in the cup holder. You shot the guy that had this? Right. You know, thinking about it, it might have actually been the double action trigger pull that made him lose there. I was lucky he didn't use single action. So from there I ran upstairs, which was full of smoke, and I started clearing the rooms left and right. There were only like 3 people upstairs. When I went to go back down, I saw a few guys running out. Usual suits, but one was covered in tattoos. No suit, no shirt, anything. Just pants. Looked like a total crack addict. That must have been the guy that shot at you. So a few started up the stairs, shooting at me all the way. I ducked into a room and unloaded through the wall. Took my Glock out, mag dumped through the wall. Took my other Glock out and checked the stairs. I got 'em all. An evil smirk stretched across her face. So I headed downstairs, then down to the basement. I knew it was the basement because a guy was coming out and I blasted him right in the head. Lots of headshots today. That's when I found the girls. So I threw another mag in my rifle and went through the rest of the house. But I guess I killed them all, except for those few that escaped. What are the chances they let all the mooks just hang out in the mansion? I'm guessing that's pretty low. Probably a few trusted guards. But I'm guessing only higher-ups, more important people, I said. Good. That's what I want to hear. I was cutting off the heads of the snakes today. If these guys don't get orders, they're not going to do anything. So are you satisfied? You feel better now? I asked. A little. You doubled your body count in one day. Doubled it. So? It's not that big of a deal. I burst out laughing. It seemed to startle a few of the girls. Why are you laughing? Mandy asked. I don't know. I can't even believe this is my life now. Last week, I hated guns. I was against the death penalty. Last week, I was allergic to dairy. And now, I'm driving a truck full of slaves to a ranch with a girl that just killed 20-odd people and doesn't even think it's a big deal. You know how crazy this is, right? This isn't something everyone does. You know that, right? She chuckled. And you're laughing. Why? I felt the grin compulsively stretch on my own face. Because I'm having fun. Mandy called Lily up and asked her to meet us at the ranch. We got there a good while before she did. We let the girls out of the SUV and showed them around the cabin. That room with all the bunk beds seemed to make them smile. Surely an actual bed was much better than a cage. There were all kinds of games to play in the basement as well, so hopefully they wouldn't get bored. Mandy finally taught me how to play carpet ball. It was like something between bowling and pool. The girls seemed to have fun playing that. I'll be back, said Mandy, as she ripped off on the quad. I played ping pong with some of the girls while she was gone. Some of them seemed to be cheering up, but some were still very shy. Understandably so. Mandy speculated that they were all from South America, and at least half of them were. Both their appearance and their language indicated that. It sounded like Spanish or Portuguese to me, even though I don't speak either language. But the other half seemed to be Eastern European. Serbian, Estonian, Ukrainian, something. They were holding girls from around the world, it seemed. There were definitely more out there somewhere. It wasn't clear what exactly this gang planned to do with them, whether it be force them into prostitution or sell them off as slaves. It didn't make much of a difference. If Mandy hadn't gone into that mansion, they awaited a dark fate. Seeing these girls playing and happy, and shy and pensive, stirred something inside of me. I think I was finally understanding what Mandy felt. She was right after all. This ravenous snake needed to not only have its head chopped off, it needed to be hacked to bits. This Gus Butler was heading up this organization, apparently. He was the guy that ordered the hit on us, the same guy who ordered the bank robbery. Lily had said that mansion belonged to him, and I couldn't help but come to the conclusion that the tattooed, crack addict-looking guy was none other than Gus Butler himself. If they were going to evacuate and protect anyone, wouldn't it be their boss? Mandy came back with one of the hams from the ham shed. Her face was flushed, her eyes were red, and her face was wet. "Are you all right?" I asked. "I'm fine," she said. Mandy wasn't the type to hold back what she was feeling, at least not for me. "We gotta get these girls some food. Let's cook up this ham." So we got to work on the ham, soaking it and trimming it, preparing it to be baked. A little while later, Lily showed up in her cute car. The fact that her outfit always matched her car never stopped being cute. Mandy filled her in on the situation, how we found the girls in the basement, all that. When Lily went to go see the girls, she started speaking Spanish to some of them. They actually spoke with her for a while. They must have said something sad, because she started hugging them and crying with them. Part of me wanted to know what they were saying. The other part didn't. My concern for the girls was slowly fermenting into hatred for this Gus Butler and his entire organization. I had a lot of apologizing to do to Mandy. I noticed Mandy crying too for some reason. "You've been crying a lot. Come on." I pulled her away to come walk with me. "Let's go outside. Come talk to me." "Let's go to the bedroom," she said. "Okay." So we went to the master bedroom, and she took her hoodie off. The entire right side of her torso was black and blue, down her arm, nearly to her elbow, and across her chest. "I'm not doing too good," she whimpered. "It hurts so bad." "Oh my God. Sit down, I said. "I don't know if I can do anything to fix that, but I can brush your hair or something." "Yes, please." So I sat on the bed and took some time to brush her hair. Then I just ran my fingers through it. Then I massaged down her neck. "You were right. I'm glad you went to the mansion." "I'm glad I didn't burn it down." "You mentioned your ammo is expensive," I said. "How much did this cost today?" Like 150, 125. Huh. That's less than I was expecting. I don't know what it was. If it was the drugs I was on, or if it was the thought of her saving all of those girls, or what. But she looked unbelievably beautiful to me at that moment. I moved to sit in front of her. "You're gorgeous, you know that?" I said to her. She seemed surprised. "I am?" "Yeah, you are." I felt myself leaning in. I kissed her on the cheek, then on the mouth. Then I got up and held her, and kissed her more. She interrupted. Can we stop?" I felt like an absolute fool. "Yes, of course. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I..." "No, it's okay," she assured me. I just don't like kissing all that much. I'm sorry." "No, I'm sorry," I said. Lily had told me she was asexual, so it was really presumptuous of me to kiss her like that. I felt like an ape, like an absolute monkey, like I was a slave to my desire, controlled by my base instinct. I shouldn't have done that, I said, shaking my head. She rolled her eyes, then stared at me. Get over here. She grabbed me by the shirt and pulled me in. She kissed me, and kissed me, and kissed me. She was surprisingly good at it, too. I pulled away for a moment to catch my breath. Geez, I thought you didn't like kissing, I said, teasing her. I don't, but I can tell you do. And she kissed me again. Wait, what? No, I said. I don't want to do it if you don't like it. That's stupid. Don't be like that. No, seriously. I only like it if you like it. That's how guys are. We only like it if the girl likes it. She squirmed. Ugh. I'm sure you haven't liked everything I've made you do. You can't just let me do this for you? No, I told her. I don't want to do anything you don't like. You liking it is what makes me like it. She slapped her forehead. Boys are a headache. Well, I liked you running your fingers through my hair, if you want to go back to that. I need something to take my mind off this shoulder. So I did. Brushing it made it so soft and fun to touch. I wanted to kiss her more, but I wanted her to like kissing me more than I wanted to kiss her. Still, it was a bit of a bitter moment for me. Any hope of a romantic future with her was pretty much dashed right then and there. Having as much physical contact with her as I was probably wasn't healthy either, but I had a few bullet holes in me. Playing with a girl's hair was far from my worst problem. Then Lily came in. Oh! Am I interrupting something? No! Mandy shouted. Oh, okay. Can I join then? So Lily sat behind me and brushed my hair. Then the three of us snuggled up together. I wasn't sure what to think. Mandy was cuddled in on my left side, and Lily was cuddled on my right. Mandy was right. I had done and continued to do a lot of stuff I was uncomfortable with. That's not to say I didn't like it, though. Still, it was weird cuddling with girls platonically. Mandy, you really did a good thing for those girls, said Lily. You really saved them from some bad stuff. The youngest one is 14. She's 14. I could probably figure out where they're from. We could try to get them back home. That would be great and all, said Mandy. But we have other things to deal with first.